It's just right.
That's right.
Thank you, Mary. Many people want to lose weight or drink less so they can look and feel their best, but quick fix tactics often leave them feeling deprived without ever really solving those underlying eating and drinking habits.
I think we could all relate to this. Our next guest has an innovative approach to help people uncover the root reasons behind extra eating and drinking. Let's welcome now the author of Decoding Your Emotional Appetite, Molly Zemek. Welcome to Great Day, Washington.
Thank you so much for having me.
I feel like everyone can relate to that introduction, as we said. We all have different reasons why we go to food and drink, right? And that's kind of what you've uncovered is, why do we go when we're what? Stressed? What are some of the reasons that we go to food?
Well, there are so many beyond just feeding our natural appetite, right? So, I mean, a lot of us use food as a way to connect with people, right? We show our love with food. Sometimes we turn to food when we're feeling bored, right? As entertainment, as a way to have fun. As a way too, sometimes to just de-stress after a really long day. I think that that's something that a lot of people can relate to is, you know, you're tired, you're exhausted, and you just need some of that relief. You just want to feel better.
Like a glass of wine at night to kind of wind down a little bit, you know? What do you mean when you say decode your emotional appetite, and how is that unlocking everything for us?
Well, there's a difference between true hunger and emotional hunger. So true hunger is your body's natural signal that it's time to eat, right? And we can identify that through hunger pangs or a sense of emptiness or maybe a lack of energy. But when we're tempted to eat and there's not that true hunger, then that's your emotional appetite, right? Those are the times when maybe you're turning to food because you just want to feel better emotionally. You want some comfort, right? Maybe you're feeling lonely and food is kind of like a friend to you. And so your emotional appetite is essentially the motivation for eating out of emotional reasons.
I also feel like you can eat when you're happy, like we're celebrating.
True.
Let's celebrate with food too.
Right, out of excitement. Yeah, absolutely.
How does this relate to drinking then as well?
Well, I think that there is nothing wrong, in my opinion, with enjoying the pleasure in alcohol. As a certified sommelier, I certainly consider myself a wine lover. But when we use wine as a way to cope with stress or as a way to numb feelings of anger or frustration, it can easily lead into mindless drinking, and we can end up overdoing it, feeling physically worse and emotionally worse. And I actually think you take away the opportunity to truly enjoy something like wine if you're distracted by how you're feeling emotionally. So I think separating the two and really being able to enjoy alcohol for the sake of enjoying it and the pleasure of it versus managing your emotions and finding natural ways to feel better is, I think, the key to really experiencing the best of both worlds.
So what kind of came up with the idea for this book, for Decoding Your Emotional Appetite, and what are some ways that you found that we can separate the two or recognize, I guess, really?
Well, as a lifelong food lover and somebody who struggled with just eating too much and drinking too much, I had a hard time balancing my passion for food with wanting to look and feel my best. And so when I realized that it had nothing to do with the food or just like my love of food, it had more to do with the reasons why I was turning to these things when I wasn't hungry, I was able to kind of recognize, oh, there are some underlying needs here that I need to solve in other ways. And that was actually the key for me because I didn't have to give up eating the foods that I loved or even give up drinking altogether. I just had to be more mindful. And so I think the key is not necessarily to go on a drastic diet or to give up drinking altogether, because those things, while they might work temporarily, aren't sustainable.
Long-term.
And then we end up feeling frustrated that they don't work. So for me, it was really refocusing on my body, taking the focus off of the food and starting to notice, am I actually hungry right now? Do I actually need to eat? If not, food's not the solution, right? If food's not, if hunger isn't the problem, food's not the answer. Maybe instead of like dealing with my stress at the end of the day by having a glass of wine or eating, I need to just rest or call a friend or go for a walk. And that, I think, just allows you over time to feel much better and also to be able to enjoy food in a much more mindful way.
Well-
so it's really connecting to your body.
And your quiz online, I took it. It's
I did
really
too.
interesting. Did you
I did
see,
too,
like,
yes.
she has a quiz where you can see, like, why are you going to fit, like, what, emotional
What is
things
leading
going on
you to
behind.
this, yeah.
You also have a podcast we want to let everyone know about. You can catch Molly on her podcast. It's Weight Loss for Food Lovers. Go online, take the quiz, contact you for coaching. Thank you for your advice
Thank you
today,
so
though, as
much.
well. Appreciate it.
All right.